You want to start off with like your background, just like how you became a coach, what made you want to become a coach, and like how you started out, basically.
Okay, yeah, I started running high school cross country as a freshman here at Beaverhead County High School and had some good experiences, grew a lot as an athlete. My junior year, we got second at the state cross country meet, lost by a couple points, and I think that's really when my running journey really started. And the next year, we ended up winning the state championship, and just felt like I still had a lot left on the table as an athlete, and so I wanted to continue to compete collegiately. Went to Concordia University in Portland, Oregon, and was on some really good teams there. Yeah, and just as I kind of went through my college experience, it really motivated me to, want to give athletes opportunities. And a lot of the athletes that I ran with, didn't graduate or didn't have a great experience, and I really felt like there was a big void in college coaching. There's just not enough good coaches out there, and the same could be said for high school. So it was something that was always on my radar, probably from my sophomore year of college onwards. And it took a little time to get some opportunity. 2 years after college, I got an opportunity to volunteer at Red Lodge High School and run with some of the guys. And that first year, I just volunteered and ran, a few practices and helped them out when I could. And then the next year, I started as the assistant coach and had 2 years as assistant coaching in cross country. All 3 years that I was there, we won the state championship for the guys cross country. Girls got second my last year there, and then I coached 2 years as the distance coach, and just had a really good experience there. And really, when I started coaching high school, I immediately knew I wanted to coach college. Just the opportunities there are more fun, and you get to do more of the athletes, see the athletes grow more, and I just could tell that would have been towards my strengths. So I immediately started pursuing that, and that's kind of what got me to Western.
Now that you've been coaching in college as opposed to high school, have your definitions of like team success or individual success changed over time, or have they kind of remained the same as like kind of your main goals as a team?
Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit. I always want to be as athlete driven as possible, and just have growth over the 4 years, through the program, or 5 years if we have that situation at any point. And how fast you run and what accolades you collect aren't necessarily important to me, but the growth that you see over 4 years. I mean, obviously you can speak to that, Tanner, and I think if you have goals like that, those accolades and awards will come. So I feel like I've stuck to that, but at the same time, learning more about the college situation, has definitely changed my perspective. It's definitely not as easy as maybe I thought it would be 4 years ago.
Yeah, so you're looking more at the growth of individual people
Yeah.
and in their running careers and
Yeah, just and the personal growth too. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to step into college coaching, because I felt like my college coach didn't really care about any of us as people. He only cared about us as athletes, and I wanted to make sure that you guys that are graduating now, went out into the world and gained more experience than just running faster. And I feel like we've done a pretty good job of doing that.
Okay, so what is your coaching philosophy, and with that, what outcomes do you value or stress about?
Like I said before, I really value personal growth. I think the running growth is obviously what we're here for, but I feel like it's really a vehicle for providing personal growth, and you just look at yourself differently when you can go out and run 70, 80 miles a week, and do 13, 14 miles every Sunday and run fast. You just think about yourself differently. In terms of like the actual like system of training, I just try not to be too dogmatic. You get different athletes with different skills, and you try to provide the training that they need. And I think one of the things that I've always really felt as a coach is you can't get too caught up in doing one thing and stuck on one thing, because you have to always be willing to evolve and change and learn. And I think I've done an okay job of that so far.
Do you have any key rules for your athletes that they must follow? Like, don't be late to practice, and with that, what disciplinary actions do you have with that?
I can't say that we've really had that in place. Obviously participation is kind of number one, and if you're not willing to participate and be at practice, you're not going to have opportunities to race. And I think that's one of those things that's really evolved for me, especially with this group that's come in, is they just need a little bit more structure. So I've been trying to provide more structure and more rules as we've gone forward, and some kids pick up on that stuff easier than others.
How much do you think like a team's success is based on like good team leadership.
A lot.
And
I
that
definitely.
could be from like you as the coach and or who you delegate as like kind of the more leaders or who evolves into that role.
Yeah, I think it comes more from the athletes than the coach. I think definitely the coach can be the driver, but I think, you know, to a certain degree, you have to have that athlete to kind of push you over the top and have that success. And I think we've seen that here in our 4 years. And I definitely, you know, when I came in to Red Lodge, we had 3 or 4 really good kids that were, you know, smart, hardworking, really understood what we needed to do, and, you know, made it really easy. And they kind of pushed the women's team to achieve, you know, to greater success too. So I think the athletes really drive what you do to a certain degree, because they're setting the standard in practice and, you know, out there on your runs. And as a coach, you know, I think inspiration, motivation is somewhat overrated as a tool. So at least at the college level, maybe high school is different.
Would you have any tips for people who are inspiring to be a cross country coach or to go down into this field?
You know, I think I just get back to what I said earlier. You know, if you really want to get into coaching, you know, you just have to remember that it's about the athletes and, you know, be athlete driven. And, you know, it's nice when, you know, athletes achieve success and, you know, teams achieve success, but, you know, everybody, they do their own work. It's not like I'm the person that's doing that work. And I can recognize that. You know, I think there's a lot of coaches that are a little bit more self-centered, and it's about them and it's about the things that they have their athletes do. And I just think that's kind of BS. And, you know, if you want to get into coaching, remember you're getting into it for athletes. And, you know, when I got into coaching, I just really felt like there's not enough good coaches, and there's not enough coaches that are athlete driven. And that's really why I wanted to pursue it.